What up, chat? Let me mark a few things out. Yeah, you guys should be able to hear me. How we doing? How we doing? Dollar. Delete that. That won't be open yet. I think we got all the opens. Did I mark them yet? I could have swore I went in there and marked them. Hang on, where's the open? Let me get these real quick. I raised my desk up slightly, and I realized it makes me look short as shit. How we doing tonight? How's the day? Good, Toasted. I took a little trade on options. I lost like 300 there, I think. I was green at one point, ended up pulling back. Went a little bit of red, which I was willing to raise. The futures accounts. Obviously, we closed the one yesterday, I think like 300 in profit, whatever it was at the end of stream. I ended up capping that one at the 1250. There was two that were, I think, 700 in drawdown from when Jake was on stream. I was trading then. Both of those ended up getting, I think, up 400. Nothing crazy, but like enough. So those were up like 400. And then I have a funded seat that I've been trading as well. But nothing like insane on the trading day. We spent a majority of the day in the range. I feel like today was a very easy day to just get chopped up. And I'm sure we're going to have a decent amount of people talk about how that happened. Good evening. Ant, Toasted, Chima, Mad Moxie, AA Booze, Rav, how y'all doing? What up, Blambo? What up, Praga? No, I don't want this on top chat, live chat. There we go. Adam Sutter, what's good? Yeah, PA trading during New York hours was tough. Dude, I think we spent a mass majority of the overall sessions in range. I know Alan caught a few trades on his stream. Looks like that ended up going well. I was on the beginning part of his stream. Yeah, he got in the later half of this little uptrend here. So he had some decent opportunity before, I guess that crash happened on his stream. Wherever that tweet was or news candle. Can't trade because of the trade CBS this morning. Oh, with all the accounts. Dude. Y'all, the craziest thing. So obviously, normally I don't always trade New York. I traded a little bit last night, recouped the two accounts that were in drawdown, and then the one that was green at the end of stream, because the only account we traded on stream. I ended up doing well on that intraday. But brother, I waited most of the day. And I was like, we're just going to keep range bound for the most part. I took one trade to start the day. I took a trade on, and I'm just laughing at it, but the original funded seat I had, because I did have to get a new account. And you'll see why. The original funded seat and one of my fundeds. My goal on these accounts, I was risking a crisp $350. No more at all. I entered as this candle closed, just as a tight stop. You enter around 80, stop around 77, world's whole, just looking for the range to continue. I wasn't able to get my stop in place by the time this happened. This entire candle shot down in like 5 seconds. And I just looked up. I even texted Jake about it. I looked up. I'm like, well, shit, that just got liquidated. So one of the fundeds absolutely nuked, and the funded seat met its farewell on that trade. Even though my initial risk was $350, I was physically not able to get my stop in place before that happened, which was crazy. It lined up perfectly with a little Trump tweet. I did end up just resetting the funded seat because I wasn't too stressed about it. And that account did get capped out on its consistency. So, you lose some, and we got, I think, 4 evals capped on consistency today, throughout last night and today. But yeah, no, that was mind you, like I said, that was the first trade I took the entire day. Waited through all this range. I was like, you know what? I'll try a small stab, $300 risk. See if we continue to range death. I was like, okay, sick. Welcome to trading. Yeah, MD, I saw gold was in a pretty steady trend most of the day. I was short, and I guess some tweet happened. Didn't set my TP directly close after the tweet. I feel like today got a lot of people, because I know Mitch was on stream. Mitch ended up being in short options during that and filled out a lot at the bottom of it, because obviously you're going to get pretty large return off a 2-minute candle doing that. Even this morning, though, because you have that initial news candle that either helped or hurt people because of how quick it moved. Unfortunately, I just didn't have a stop. But then this morning I know Trade C had an issue where a lot of people were trying to trade it, and I think you guys couldn't close your positions for the most part. But you were able to enter them, but you couldn't close them. Yeah, Praga. What that entire candle was revolved around was Iran has been saying they want reparations for the damages of the war. And Trump said, well, if you want reparations, so do we. And that is all I found with the result of that 18-point ES 10-second candle. Polar Bear, nothing wrong with that. If you like it, run it. You should add option lost into the survey. What do you mean by lost? Like just no clue? That's what range is. MD, that's been since it started. I mean, that's just another day in the office. But how'd the rest of you guys do today? I know a few more people are getting in. How'd you guys trade? At least we got some movement. We did. The biggest candle of the entire trading day was in a 10-second tweet candle. I gotta pay out? Hell yeah. Yeah, MD, that just goes in the range category for now. Hey, Ramen, trading 50K evals, Tradify 50K select. Do you shoot for a certain profit target each day to stay 40% consistency? First time trading an eval, so trying to figure that out. Bortos, yeah, I'm assuming you're obviously talking about the eval. For me, what I do is I typically aim, I think my accounts right now, which the one you guys see on stream is the funded seat. I have that open. I have the Tradifies next to it. I just don't have those up right now. But we're going to start on this account. If I want to rotate to a different account, we will. But for now, the main plan is just start with this one, see how it goes, run with it. Yeah, so the profit target on the 50Ks is going to be 1,200 on those with the 40%. I put mine at like 1,220. Don't really need to do that, but it just fills for slippage and contract fees a lot of the time. In my head, I've just always put consistencies like $20 above. I just have a daily kick out on my account. So all of my accounts are set at a strict profit target. And actually, let me set this funded seat at 1,050 just in case anything happens. So that's 1,050 on that account for consistency rules. Because I think it's 35% for them. But yeah, I just put it in the consistency rule on the account. So when I hit that P&L, it'll kick me out. Thank you, Nikki. It was good yesterday. I even made our RTP. Hell yeah. I'm about to go back. Oh, already read that. Yeah, I wouldn't close. I took a trade, turned into 4 ES cons, and nuked my account. Went up to 8K in profit, then blow up. Brain it. It ended up being in 4 ES, and it went up 8K, and then nuked it. That sucks ass. I mean, I hope they're obviously fixing that, but some firms don't. I'm sure Lucid will. Hardest part is it's not really their fault. It's the broker. I got to pay out. Polar bear. Took a loss on an eval. Another day. Not bad. What up, 6Kev? How you doing, brother? Yeah, Bortos. And in reality, you don't need to do that on that kind of account. The ones you need to focus more on being specific is going to be the like 25% consistencies if you're in one of those. Because the main reason, if obviously you have 1200 plus 1200, it's going to give you 2400. I don't know why I brought a calculator for simple math. So you'll have 600 left on that last day. So you can make a little bit less. That's just me for max. So no matter what, it'll kick me out right then and there. Because if I'm up, let's say $625, instead of doing quick math and trying to get out of position at a certain point, I just set that, let the position go, and when it hits, it kicks me out. Rav, love to hear it, my man. You trade larger sizing? What up, Hunting Pips? They're going to reset everyone's count those affected. Nice. Hopefully they don't reset the ones that, like, you know, did well because of it. I did see someone in Jake's thing say they needed a certain amount for consistency, and they ended up making like $4,000 plus on it because they couldn't close. When gold short, my brother, why out of all charts do you want to short this one? Out of anything in the market, why do we want to short this one? To me, there will be a time for gold shorts. Could be in a day, could be in 2 days, could be in a month. But if gold's looking like this, and we're now trending, by the way, we did hit the broader target. Now we got to see if we hit this target. I have zero interest in shorting this one. But once again, last week, one of the things we talked about was gold. If gold gets momentum over this 4,200, it's going to rip. Unfortunately, I didn't even trade this because I've been so focused on other options names. But looks like it has been making a really nice move. Thing is, too, gold doesn't need pullbacks. Gold can continue easily. All it takes is a little bit of buying pressure to push that name to the upside, and you'll never look back on it. Fast scalp short. Ronnie, you bullish? I haven't done any analysis yet. I'm going to do it in a minute. So around the 7:15 time. Just letting more people get in. MD, are you talking about shorting gold for a quick scalp? Or are you talking about the indices? Indices could easily. Yeah, of course, Boar. I don't, but wanted more buffer. Good. Rav, if it makes you feel good, trade the account. That's the biggest thing. Hope they don't reset my payout, gang. Polar Bear, if they reset a payout, do you know the riot that would go for them? Usually what happens is when they do well, when anyone does well on a day where the broker is glitching out, the profit accounts, they leave. The red accounts, they just reset. Want to trade like a personal account? Good. $1,000 away from passing my 150 Lucid daily. Hell yeah. What up, Logan? Pretty sure I already said that. GC, you want to take a quick short scalp? This to me, y'all know how I trade. The 4 hour, I just can't. I would need a lot of time in this to set up anything for me to look at this chart and be like, hell yeah, let's short it. Oil closed the day a little stronger. Dollar did not get much buying pressure. How did the rest of the indices look? Let's take a gander. All right, like shit, got it. So we did absolutely nothing today. Something we did though, and we'll start the analysis real quick. Let me make sure there's nothing in chat. I'm long bias both in gold and oil. Interesting combination. Because if the war continues, gold's likely going to be impacted, but it'd be impacted in a negative way, where oil would obviously be impacted in a positive way, at least from what I've read and understood. But oil, I still think, is underpriced in reality. What up, A-Trades? All right, something to note, quick glance on the indices here. Obviously, today we went absolutely nowhere. Biggest daily candle out the gate, RTY. Not much about it, still inside bar. RTY stayed within the prior daily candle. So did YM. So YM is a pretty clear support resistance. Today's or Friday's highs, today's or Friday's lows, going to be the support resistance. We break outside that, you can look for a little bit of a trend. Indices with ES and NQ, I'm a little skeptical on, but not like heavy bearish, just more neutral. This looks like it just wants to range out for the time being. NQ is obviously a little bit weaker, didn't close as much of a doji. I think ES closed green by like a point or two. As we look at this, we tested above Friday's highs though, and we pushed back lower. Why do I have a trade there? Oh, those are probably from last night. So we tested above Friday's highs, pushed back lower. Not a great daily close. Biggest thing I'm going to be paying attention to this session is just NQ around yesterday's lows. If we break below that, hold below that, shorts are on the table easily, at least towards ES, back towards yesterday's lows as well. If we spike below it and then get buying pressure back above, that's when I'd start to be like, all right, maybe this is just a consolidation on the daily chart, looking for the eventual push higher, which could come from the data this week, from the earnings this week, a random Trump tweet, who knows at this point. But we're just consolidating. We're within a broader daily consolidation, ES, NQ. Just pay attention to the prior day's highs, lows. ES is right in the middle right now, so I'm going to be watching the open and out. NQ reacts to the prior day's lows. 4 hour, really not much to say. Trying to set like this little bit of a lower high, I guess. The structure hasn't changed, so I don't really consider it a lower high. But it is trying to push back lower. And if we do get that downtrend, I would anticipate probably like 67s and then 63s at today's lows. NQ, pretty straightforward. We break below today's lows at 29,719s. I'll be looking down towards the like 610s, 620s. Just retesting this prior breakout area from Friday, I think. Friday night? Yeah. So that's going to be the main thesis. Just pay attention to how these charts want to react. Right now, they are a little more bearish than bullish. But I do just want to pay attention to how NQ is going to respect this area first. So I'm open to shorts. I'm open to longs. We're in a consolidation. Same shit. Day 6. Asia session is in a range. So what you say is if it doesn't go up, it will go down. Oh, Joanna. Could also go sideways. That's a valid take right there. Can go up, can go down, might go sideways. The world may never know. Check dollar, gold following. That one, not exactly, or mainly. Oh, you're talking about the negative correlation to the dollar? I wouldn't say it's following it. I feel like it's definitely catching up for the most part. Because while this sold off, just because I know what gold's daily chart looks like, while this sold off, gold didn't move. So now that the dollar's consolidating, gold's playing that little game of the negative correlation catch up, where gold's then rallying to match the opposite of this move. Which is exactly what happened. There's really not much to say on the dollar. The daily candle is just straight inside bar, no continuation either direction. Let's look at gold. Gold, I mean, I feel like this chart needs a day of consolidation, but it really doesn't. Right? Spent all last night consolidating. If it wants to continue this breakout, this is a 5-minute chart. It easily could. See how this candle reacts if we continue to hold the open. This chart looks fine. Especially if we get above today's highs, which is going to be sitting at 44.53.8. Basically right where we are. If we continue to hold that, you can look for that continued upside pressure, likely towards like that 4,500 area, and then watch how it reacts to there. I just don't have a lot on gold because of how aggressive of a move it made during New York. Looks like the indices are pulling back a little bit. Yeah, MD, I didn't even read your next message, but I said exactly what you said. So chat, right now, you guys are actually leaning a little more bullish than anything. No, you're basically neutral. 38% bullish, 34% range, 29% bearish. Y'all have no clue what you want to do, just like me. When are we not bullish? You right, Polar Bear. You right. You guys haven't said bearish in a minute. To be fair, though, the indices have gone up, except for last night when you guys said bullish and it went down. Saw JP Morgan say they think gold will hit 6,000 an ounce by end of year. Yeah, but Adam, any analysis, like any analyst in the market, I just view as like a weatherman. It could hit 5,500 or 5,000 and they'll be like, close enough, it was right. And then they'll change their thesis. So they only have to be right part of the time and it works. Yeah, MD, the overall thesis on the poll alone kind of explains that. A majority of the chat is all contradicting each other. Everyone's basically deadlocked even. Long this. No, I don't want to. Those quants are full of it. I feel like one of the easiest jobs out there would be an analyst, where all you have to do is give price targets. You see an earnings report, you see something move 20%, move your price target up an extra 5%, call it a day. Be like, I told you so. By the way, I think Hims had earnings. Down a little bit. My barber's going to be pissed. Finally looked good, and then it pulled back. I'm saying cash. MD, likely until we get a little bit of conviction, I will be too. If we hold this generalized low area, I'm okay with thinking of longs back up to the open. It's, once again, going to be hit and run type trades. What up, Ron? How you doing? The only jobs you get paid to be wrong at? True. MD, you were so confused with the indices today that you traded SpaceX. That's a level of desperation I haven't hit yet, where I'm like, hey, I need to go hit that SpaceX. No, I actually traded a little SPX today, which I was decently in profit, and then like 2-minute candle pulled back, stopped me out. I was like, damn it. Why do I say hi to myself? What's on setup? I mean, if the setup's there, take it. What'd SpaceX do today? Little rip. Does it? Chat, do you guys think... Wait, why is no wick? Wick. Huh? Is that wick real on SpaceX, or is that not real? There's a wick right there that we tested today from IPO. You go to the daily chart, and we're not even close. Interesting. I was going to say, do we reject this IPO lows? I still want this sub 100, but I might not get it. Because, Elon's running the shit. What up, Rag? We are bullish on Elon. Always. Not only did I get my 4K trade yesterday, did my 3.5 150 USD just now on the NQ short. Hell yeah. MD, you want it to hit 150? Cole, they got in before. I don't think it IPO'd at 135. No, it ended up IPOing just below 150. People got in pre-IPO at 135s, which is likely what that wick's from, because it came down, hit 135, and then slammed higher. So it filled all those orders and then actually opened up above. Yeah, Rag, we talked about that a little bit earlier. I want SpaceX at like 85. Give me 70. Is it? I mean, if it hits 70, the problem with SpaceX is there's probably an astronomical amount of orders sitting around 100. Just waiting at like 99, 100, whatever it may be, trying to buy that at the psychological level. But I want to see it break that. Then I'll be interested in grabbing shares. Yeah, Rag, luckily I didn't trade this morning, but it's all right. I missed the broker issue and I traded 0.5 seconds before a news candle. So basically same shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cole, likely. My confusion was it wasn't there on the daily chart, but it's there on every other time frame. There was an issue with Tradesy. I knew it, yes. Yeah, Tradesy had an issue this morning. Now, my ass, though, out of the brokers I can trade, decided, you know what, for stream, we're going to rip Tradesy right out the gate. So hopefully it works. Oh my God, that 2-minute looks, it looks like we're trading a penny stock. So we have the 15 closing in 3 minutes. Something that's going to be funny is I guarantee you, as people jump in now, the votes are going to go towards bullish or bearish, and that's going to take over. Got my account blown? Simon, they should correct that. Should. Usually when there's an issue with brokers, they'll be nice and correct it. So that way, you know, since you got smoked. Especially when you can't actively execute. Mine, though, the account I lost is just GG's. I think NQ, Nikki will be mostly bearish. Maybe we'll see. So far, I think that's the deal. Yeah, we're now below yesterday's lows. I lean towards the downside, but we sit below that level. So for me, like if I'm looking at ES, I'd be interested in the push down towards like 63s. My problem is I don't love an entry right here. With how slow it's moving, you easily could get somewhat of an entry, right? Let's say you're bearish, you could throw something like that. Even here, you can throw a 3-point stop if you wanted to. Little like 6-point target. Not crazy. I don't hate it. I just don't love where it'd be entering. Simon, they should do that no matter what if you weren't able to execute on the trade. Chat, what names and trades you guys watching today? Yeah, MD, we'll see what happens with it. Gold's definitely the strongest name out there, by far. The only thing is if the indices consolidate, gold might as well, which seems like we're really just waiting on CPI. So there's a chance tomorrow does not look good. As long as it's between 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. EST this morning. Dude, imagine if that's the only window they allowed it in and your account got blown at like 10:33. Yeah, Hippo, it's likely imposter syndrome with them where they don't believe it since they just started, but it's passing your first ever eval after only trading for 1 month is astronomical. That's like people who get a payout within the first 6 to 12 months of trading. Most people will never get that. But no, Obviously, I don't know if your friend's here or not, but that is absolutely insane. Biggest thing too, and they're gonna have that imposter syndrome-esque, is just how they keep trading. If they keep trading the exact same way, just remind them, they pass the eval, they can easily get a payout. It's the exact same trading thesis. Simon, wait, was that an eval? Or was that a funded account that you were up on? I think you said eval. Yeah, how the hell did you lose 7.2K on an eval? Hippo, even if you had 1 year of trading experience and you got to pay out with 2 weeks of trading props, that's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. Simon, the funny thing is, I don't believe you were on stream when I talked about it. Whatever. When I took one trade today, my first trade was buying off this little support with low risk. Before I was able to set a stop loss, this candle hit. The account I was trading, I think my funded seed has the $1,500 drawdown, which not the smartest choice, but we ride with it. This lost like $1,900, like immediately $1,900. It was that quick. You went all in, especially because you said you were, or no, someone else said they were in ES. If you lost 7.2, I would assume you were in NQ. Probably a couple minis, and that shit went. All right, Brandon, I don't think that was necessary. I don't think that congrats, you've been liquidated was something that needed to be said. By the way, chat, if you're on stream, there's currently 125 of you guys and 31 thumbs up. Hit the like button, show some love. I also have to keep an eye out for Tris trades today because they never sent me a DM. So I still owe them an account. Hippo, I went through it for the longest time. I mean, I got to not the exact role I'm in, but I was like a moderator in Jake's Discord within 8 months of taking his mastermind. And I was a team member within 3. I had the biggest imposter syndrome, especially when I had like larger days and was actually getting consistent. Nothing felt real. A lot of it though is just comparing yourself to others, right? The time frames it takes them, it could take someone literally a month and they can be consistent. A lot of it just in the end comes down to your daily life and how overall consistent you are. Reminds me when I went in silver instead of silver micros, lost 2K in 3 seconds. That one literally blew the account before I even realized what happened. That'll do it, especially silver. You were in 2 NQ long, wanted to exit. Didn't NQ go higher? Oh, no. Oh, so you got... That made 7K. Did you buy the top? Because holy hell. Oh, yeah. Yeah, with 2. No, that'd be like 4. I don't know. MD, you just noticed the ticker tape? I've had that. Shit. I think I made that 3 weeks ago. 3-4 weeks ago. And if you look now, everybody else has one. I don't know if Jake's using his or not. I think his is at the top of his stream. I just made Alan one. Lamelli, I made one Friday, I believe. And I don't think Mitch has one. Never paid attention. Too focused on the charts. Looks really cool. Appreciate it. It's not, I wish it was more accurate, but I think it updates every 15 seconds instead of real time. But that's the best I could do with Claude without buying a subscription. Yeah, I talked early stage with my friend, but our daily confirmations are the psychology of trading and ensuring we are staying in line with our rules. If you keep that mindset and you follow that to a T, you'll be fine. Anyone would be fine. Because all it is just trading. Anybody can make money in trading. It's those who keep it that do well. Like, making money trading is one of the easiest things in the world. Chat, let's see how we react on this 5 minute. Because if we get buying pressure on it, NQ might come up and retest yesterday's lows. Which then we can either get a lower high in which we can look to short. I'm open to it. Down towards yesterday's lows. If we don't do that though, we are stuck in a range. And that is not going to be good. So, D10 Smirk. If you pay attention, you know exactly when I'm looking for a trade. Because I will start flipping time frames like a psychopath. Where it's every second, I'm just flipping to a different time frame. I'll start looking at every single chart just to see if it looks good enough to take. MD, I would have to check Claude. I don't remember exactly, but I had to go. This was like the 6th trial. We had to use a bunch of different websites to get the information. It ended up coming from one of them. It might be TopX. Is that the name of it? I think it might be TopX. So when it debugged, it was 40 MNQ short. God damn, Simon. You just kept shorting the hell out of it. Do you use Claude for all your coding? Yes. If you have seen how I deal with my technical difficulties and then realize that I am one of our main IT guys, yes. Claude is my saving grace for anything. Except for the most simplistic questions, it is usually wrong on those. Yeah, everything you see on screen, everything you see on, like the stuff I made for Alan, all of it's Claude. You can actually see, I wonder if it's still there. You might not be able to hear me because I don't think the browser is going to be set to it, but if you look real quick, you'll see like all the coding I did the other day. So like that was all the trial and error and different tweaks that I had to make for each person's little header. All right, let me stats. I need this out. Okay. Perfect. I mean, Polar Bear, once you understand how to do it on Claude, it's designing layouts on Claude is so simplistic. The pain in the ass part with that was editing the prop firm photos to make sure they looked clean. Because some people probably didn't even notice. I changed the banner above my head, the little marketing panel. I updated a bunch of that with new photos so it looks cleaner. I'm shocked at the price banner. Hell yeah. Do you type in make a banner for Rake? No. Polar Bear. Let me go to the other one real quick. And chat, don't worry. If there's a trade that I love, that I'm looking at and I'm in love with, I will go to mainly charts and we will take it. I don't have a problem with that. All right. Should be able to hear me now. So no, this initially started with me. Obviously, you can see my first one. I used that as a layout. Made Alan one, realized Alan didn't have the room for marketing, so I jumped down to here. But yeah, it was a lot of like tedious stuff. The funniest part is there's probably someone here that codes and is just sitting there going, that's the easiest thing to make in the world. I like these banners and overlays. Yeah, Polar Bear, everything you see on streams is made from Claude. Everything. Everything Jake puts on stream, from his DGen banner to the banners that I just made him, the greenish background behind me, like down there, is Claude. The borders around the pictures, all Claude. Everything's Claude. Thank you down. What would be the targets, levels of interest for TV? Everyone who codes is definitely using AI for. Agreed. Dude, it's weird. I have a buddy who codes, and he was like all super worried about losing his job to AI. He's getting a better degree. I don't know exactly. I think he might be going for his master's. In one of his courses, they required him to use AI to code. I'm like, that seems a little contradictory. For NQ, 655s, just because these targets are going to be closer, because obviously I don't have strong conviction we get a bigger continuation yet until we actually get one. This 655 area, so just targeting this prior hourly high for the most part. And then bigger resistance or bigger support around like 610s, which is just these two highs here. That's the shorter term. If we get a bigger move, honestly, 500, 29,500 would be like a Hail Mary target. Oh, I wish trading was more like coding. Dude, just the stuff you can make is kind of cool too. Because you can make any indicator you want. Like Mitch used Claude to make his indicator. Have the other thing with code part, but experienced engineers will always be needed. Yeah, agreed, Adam. I got 2 levels. One is the same. The other one's even lower. Yeah, my earlier 2 levels were way more reserved, but it's because we haven't gotten much momentum in this session. Today might be one of the biggest moves we've got. Actually, no. All right, that's crazy. This looks like we made a parabolic move. We are 8 points away from the open. That is it. Like, me zoomed in, this looks like ES sold off aggressively. We do have ES slightly stronger. Little divergence with it sweeping the 15-minute lows. Other indices. So every index swept that session low other than NQ. So let's see. If NQ gets back above yesterday's lows, I'm more interested in longs, especially if ES gets back above 72s, in which we can look for that move up to like 78, possibly 81s. What's gold doing? Slow, steady. Coding's hard as hell, definitely harder than trading. Well, it depends what kind of coding. My level of coding expertise, and it's funny, because I was talking to the guy at the supplement shop I go to, and I was telling him, he's like, what'd you have to do the rest of the day? I was like, I gotta go home and code a bunch of stuff for stream. Little does he know, all I do is type in prompts to Claude and it does everything for me. Man probably thought I was a genius. Oil lower high. Dollar not open yet. I don't know. I kind of don't hate the thesis of us holding this generalized support. 15 closes in 30 seconds. We'll wait for that. What up, Bugs? This is ChatGPT. No, Polar Bear, there's a loophole. If you want to code anything in Claude, make Claude ask you the questions. Easiest way to do it. If you give it a slight prompt like, hey, I want to make this, can you ask me questions to help design it? It will simply ask you the questions. You just answer them and bam. That's how I made a lot of this stuff. Glad they did it. Glad I stayed out the way CPI, PPI should be fun this week. Bugs, hopefully they're fun this week. Chat, when do you guys, and this is an honest question, when do you think Asia session will be great again? Because we're like the redheaded stepchild of the stock market right now. And we're getting neglected. Nobody wants to trade us. There's just no movement. All-time high on NQ is when you think we finally get some love again. Trading Nicholas, I am hoping so. If not, we're going to have to start changing streams. It's going to be less trading related. We got to find a new topic to do. When AXP comes back from vacation, all we need is AXP to just send one trade in on ES, and we should be good. If any of you youngins are computer science majors, please do not use ChatGPT. It sucks. Oh, ChatGPT is terrible. Especially if you want it to make any type of image, especially overlays. Chat is horrible. It's wild, bro. I don't think that's what I was referring to. Make it into a coding related stream. I just start coding random stuff on stream with Claude. Sit here, brainstorm, see what we can make. It just looks up Reddit forums to agree with you. I will say though, Claude with these simple questions is terrible. I've asked them multiple questions before, so is Google AI. If you ask them a question, you know their answer doesn't sound right. And if you just simply say, I don't think that's correct, they'll be like, oh, you're right. This is the correct answer. Problem is your session is at the beginning of Nowhere Land. Asia gets a bit faster, 1.5 to 2 hours in its session, usually as I've seen. MD, 2 hours into the session is going to be halfway. Technically, right now we're right in that time frame. Unless you're talking about post 8 p.m. Asia session, then yes. I was referring to the Globex Open. Yeah, no, I agree. I love trading after 10. That's why some days we will stay and we'll trade after 10. We'll trade to 11. It doesn't matter. But like last night, I traded a tiny bit, not much. Barton's, I think you'll be around for live streams, was a thing for a long time for coaches after Top Step ended most of their coaches. I like your guys' streams. I'm Nicoles. Perfect. Got you. It's all right. I don't know if he's here. There's Ollie Trades, who has been on stream since day one. And I asked if it was Ollie or Allie in the beginning. Jake still calls him Allie. And it is the funniest thing every time I hear it. But no, I appreciate you letting me know. So, Nicoles. There's no at the end. So said more like Nichols? Nichols? So, Nichols. Got it. I was overpronouncing the I. Got you. It's because rake raids. That's fair. What kind of levels do you mark out for Asia? Right now, it's just 15-minute pivots. Got you. Of course. Always, chat. If I mess up anybody's name, which there are names that I will horribly mess up, and I will say it beforehand. If you're going to be around more and want it corrected, tell me. Right now, 15-minute pivots. Just looking at where we've respected, where we've rejected throughout the session, right? Prior price action as well. That's what these highlighted areas are. Outside of that, we have the open, which is in blue. Gray is going to label whatever it is. YDH, yesterday's high. YDL, yesterday's low. Go to the higher time frames. Right now, we're not near them. You have last week's high, last month's high, last week's low, last month's low. The reason I mark those is so when I'm on the 5-minute time frame, I can look at something like NQ. And I know now without changing time frames what this daily looks like. Where we broke below, push back above, kind of. If we reject this, we continue breaking and holding below the prior day's lows, so that's more bearish. If we end up getting back above, we tested below, couldn't get continuation, could end up leading to a little bit of a push higher. I'm scared to look at the 2 minute. 2 minutes. Okay. Oh my God. Wait, why does NQ look better than ES? I mean, it still looks horrible on the 1 minute, but the bars in general look better. Oil's weaker. Dollar's weak as well. Interesting. What do these look like? 15-minute lower high, lower high. Five minutes good for now. What I'm watching here is to see if these are going to be 15-minute lower highs setting. If they do, I'm decently interested in at least a quicker short. Ideal target on ES would just be yesterday's lows. But I'm paying attention, giving it a few minutes because we're still in the first half of the 15-minute candle. And it's at a point where we're right in the middle. It can end up pushing up higher, closing green, or selling down, closing red. I think the risk to reward is definitely there on shorts, especially with NQ rejecting yesterday's lows. And I might be too hesitant on this, but I'm okay with that. Main reason I'm giving it a minute is just because oil was a little bit weaker there and the dollar's weaker as well. So I'm making sure I have enough conviction that this is likely going to get a continuation for me to be willing to take it. Did that backwards? Nichols, mine is just Ron. G's the start of my last name, so it's Ron G. What happened to the like count? What do you mean? Oh, we got 47 now? Yeah, you guys are liking the stream. Appreciate it. Chat, if we get a decent number today, I'll run a giveaway. Out the gate, the first thought is probably run one tomorrow. But if we get likes up there to where I'm like, damn, you guys are showing love, we'll run one. So that's up to you guys. I'm going to pretend you just logged in and going to stay for 2 hours into the stream. Just as I suggest. So we got, all right, so we got to wait 2 more hours for trading. Got it. So we got to do a 3-hour stream. Brandon, if you ever feel like the market's confusing, and obviously I know you trade more often, so you're just saying it out loud. And this goes for anybody. If you look at a chart and go, I genuinely don't know what I want to do here, don't do anything. Probably one of the best pieces of advice I can give to anybody. There's nothing telling you have to trade this stream or this session, London session, New York Open, whatever it may be. Outside of this session and like the night session into like 2 a.m., if I look at the charts and don't love it, I have zero interest in putting any risk on whatsoever. If you're going to stay cash while watching, let's do the gaming stream stuff. Meanwhile, MD, I'm going to knock on wood real quick just because I'm going to say the word and I don't want it to happen. So, at the moment, with what we've been experiencing buffer-wise, I don't think running a game in the background would be the greatest decision. That stream would drop within 35 seconds and we would never be seen again. Now, mind you, I did change a few settings, so we'll see how it holds up. So far, we're doing okay. We'll see if it ends up continue doing well. But that stream would be sent to the gulag within 30 seconds of operation. But I did change a setting on OBS that tries, it's not variable frame rate, it's something else. To where if the frames drop a little bit, it'll just drop the quality of the stream versus the buffer. No, I knocked on wood. I got a wood desk. We're good. So far, that short is working out a little bit. More LEDs, more FPS. So MD, you're saying I need more moving features on my stream. Got it. I will load up every single thing with a bunch of little background highlights, all that I can get. Yeah, that short's gonna bite me. Chat, anyone take the short that I stupidly hesitated on? What's up? Sorry for late join. Didn't know you guys were live. Chuckle, I'm live every day, 7 p.m. Eastern. But welcome. Short from 720. Ooh. Did you get in on the initial break or did you get in on the retest of yesterday's lows? I took a fake short. Brandon, I'm gonna need a little explanation there. Like, did you mentally just say, hey, I'm shorting here, or did you just trade a paper account? Entered in Phil at a short at 36. Yeah. So you wanted this to come up, sweep that high, and then go back lower? I respect that. Yes, M. Brown short as well. What up, Captain Lasagna? The one, the only. You in anything? No, MF. I hesitated a little bit on my short. I talked about shorting off of this. I wanted to see a little bit more confirmation. Probably should have just taken it, but is what it is. We'll see if anything else sets up. What was your thought process to decide on shorts? I know you hesitated, but you chose correctly. G, I'm just gonna call you G, if that's okay. G Pagan, maybe. Looking at the indices, we talked about how I didn't really want to short like down here yet. I wanted to see if NQ could come up and retest. Our main pivot on the session is 73s, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the exact same area as yesterday. Yes, it is the exact same pivot. We're in the exact same price action we were yesterday on stream. we are at the identical spot as yesterday. Son of a bitch. If we held below 73s, we're rejecting this bit of a now resistance once we initially broke below, setting that overall lower high. Same thing on NQ. NQ, the pivot is going to be yesterday's lows. 29, 719s basically. And when you look at the 15-minute chart, it got that spike higher, started to push back lower. Where I looked at it, the 15 was setting that overall rejection area, which got me more interested. I just probably hesitated a little too much. In reality, though, the reason I'm like the hesitation was stupid, and I will straight up say that. We looked, and it was like right here. I think it might have even been higher. Your stop. 2 points on ES. If you want to be a little more reserved, like aggressive with it, 2.5. You're talking at 2 points, 3 ES minis. You're risking $300. That is dumb risk. But yeah, just looking at the overall market. This market makes no sense. I'm glad I'm acting mature enough not to trade it. Smart man, brother. That 720 short was a good retest of PDL for sure. Missed that. Lambo is beautiful. Beautiful, especially for just the little scalp type aspect we've been going for. Now, I don't know if this pushes back higher, I probably would get stopped out if I was short. Because I wanted down here. Even though if you took it, let's see what it would be. Let's say 7150s, stop. Even if you want to throw it at those highs. Could have got a little over 1.5 R. Little base hit. Just got to see if we get continuation or not. Lasagna, that was part of the thesis for wanting the short. Seeing those lows get tested. Because that would make the most sense. Damn, it's already been an hour. All right, chat, we have Asia open right now. Is gold looking bullish for you guys? Yes. Gold's continuing to make new highs. I'm not saying I'm going to long here. You got to remember what the hourly looks like, right? This is the hourly candle. For me, I would likely need a couple candles of price action to get any conviction on this. But I don't trade gold that often. Gold can easily push, continue higher. When gold wants to be in a market where you buy every dip, you literally have to buy every dip if you want to long this thing. But I have no interest in shorting gold. Gold is the strongest chart out of any futures asset that I look at. I'm sure if you look at platinum, it's probably decent. Platinum's in a hell of a consolidation. I don't know what's silver look like. Silver, strong as gold. So yeah, the metals are doing really well right now. If platinum plays a little game of catch up to silver and gold, you might see some nice movement. Are you going to trade ES? Yeah. If I see an entry I want, again, I'll take it. NQ's testing Thursday's high and bouncing so far. Do you mark those areas out? Like, do you keep Thursday's high in your chart? We also tested this little New York session pivot on NQ. Up over 300% of my silver runner so far, actually. Blambo, are you in options or did you just use a percentage term on futures? If so, interesting. Let's see if I can get out of my gold at 446. You just need over high a day. That's it. If it does lose 5-4, not going to be great. NKD pushing lower. Yeah, market might just be you have to buy or you have to short the highs anytime it makes one. Oil looks decent. Dollar still pushing down. Likely going to help fuel gold. So a lot of stuff to pay attention to. Other indices. Is YM the strongest asset right now? It is. Likely, probably because metals and commodities, I would assume. 4 hours, definitely not the strongest, but on the lower time frames, it's holding up well thus far. I'm in options on silver. Hell yeah, brother. Are you using DXY and CL to see context for trading ES? Yeah, correct. While using for confirmation. Yep. CL for geopolitics, DXY for risk on off. Sorry, it's a super noob question. Toasted. You may think that's a noob question, but a lot of people aren't going to understand that right away. So yes, the geopolitics, not necessarily, but if oil is getting aggressive buying pressure, there's a decent chance, especially if war aspects are going on, then you're going to start to see the negative correlation with the indices. While we're in this quote unquote peace talks, peace treaty, you don't see it as much. So you can see oil rip alongside the indices. But yes, when I go to this screen, all I'm looking at is divergences between the indices. First thing you notice out the gate, NQ is weak. ES is more in the mid-range, just strictly due to where yesterday's low is. NQ is below it. ES, not quite. Then if you look at shorter term structure, YM's holding up well because it's not far off the open. RTY is kind of in between YM and ES. I noticed that like right away when I look at this. And then I just look at the individual names. Because I'm seeing, are they moving or are they consolidating? If I'm looking at a setup on ES, I'll take a quick glance, and y'all see this every day. You probably just don't realize I'm doing it. I'll look at the dollar. Is the dollar strong, weak? Does it look like it's going to make a continuation, hold, whatever it may be? Do a quick glance at oil, the exact same thing. Gold, if I look at it, it's basically just seeing, hey, is gold doing anything that's worth looking at or no? And right now, gold is doing something worth looking at. What up, Ali? How you doing? Mine, what is Canna Mac? You keep the obvious pivot points. I like that. So basically what I do with the 15 minutes, I use the 15 and hourlies to kind of give me those pivots, which I probably need to update. If Amazon opens up a little pullback kind of where it's at, could be a good long. Long John Silver up to you and Zay would get along well. Whoever answers 11 plus 25 gets a free lucid 25K from themselves that they have to give me. Wait. Rav, you answered it. You answered it. If you read this is why it is important to read the terms and conditions of everything. Even though I don't read a single terms and conditions, unless it's something like this. He said, whoever, I'll pull it up. Where'd it go? Whoever answers 11 plus 26 gets a free Lucid 25K from themselves that they have to give to me. Congrats on the 25K, Lander. I read it, but it was funny. Well, Rav, now, I don't know how legally binding it is, but I think you own one. What does divergence tell you? Man, it depends how aggressive the divergence is. If there's a bigger divergence on the daily charts, most of the time that's just going to be consolidation range is likely to happen. Because when you see the divergence, let's say ES and NQ pulling back a bit, while RTY and YM are getting buying pressure, all you're seeing is sector rotations. If I'm looking at the higher time frames, I'm looking to see if there's sector rotations to see what would give me more interest. And that is something I use exponentially when it comes to options. If RTY looks insanely strong or YM looks strong, I'm going to start looking at small caps or industrials or banks. If NQ looks strong, I just start to lean towards big tech. If ES is the strong one, I look towards any name in the market that's a top 500 company. On the lower time frames, just overall structure, conviction. Right, we ended up getting right here when every other index got that bit of a push lower, spiked new lows, and got bought back up. When I mentioned that, ES still had an inside bar. So there's likely two things that are going to happen. Either those three indices are going to have enough buying pressure with that failure to get us in somewhat of an uptrend looking for the open, or we're going to end up pushing back lower to have NQ sweep those lows and test it. Zay, you DM'd me about Tesla and you swung silver? I mean, it's ripping. Lander. There's no way you made a joke saying, hey, Rake, can you explain all of day trading real quick? There's not a single part of that I can even answer correctly because, one, I'm not a Rake, and I would need a long time to explain day trading. Day trading, you basically flip a coin. If it's heads, you do whatever you want to do, long or short, and do the opposite for tails. Keep your risk at 2R. If you do it correctly, you should be profitable. Pretty easy. Congrats on 40K subs. Thanks, brother. It's awesome. I think we're already at like 40K 200. And we just hit 40K this weekend. After I win again, I'll give it. Now, Rav, you don't get to pick who it goes to. You just got to put it back in the giveaway pool. All right. So now NQ hit new lows and nothing else did. So if NQ starts seeing strength while the dollar is still weak, let's see, this is what I look at. NQ hit new lows in the 15 while the other indices didn't. The other indices are technically slightly stronger. So if the weaker name is going to sweep those lows and get buying pressure, that could be enough to attempt to see us get some upside momentum. So now we're going to watch, does it break above yesterday's lows? If it breaks above yesterday's lows, there's a chance we start to target back up towards the open. What I'm going to look at when I go to this, and I know I'm talking fast because I kind of need to because the market's moving. Dollar's weak. Typically, if the indices are going to be more bearish, you're going to see a slightly stronger dollar. That's a little out of the ordinary right now with the dollar continuously being weak, continuously pushing a little bit lower. So I always keep that in the back of my mind. Flip to oil real quick. Oil's still strong. It's obviously not impacting the indices a whole lot, but you still want to keep an eye on it, right? If this goes up, hits the open, rejects while these get buying pressure, then that would just build a little bit more conviction with the rejection for a potential long. Lander, please tell me that's... Hell yeah, Braga. Please tell me that's an actual thing you can bet on. Have a good night, brother. Check out gold, silver following DXY rather than very little variability due to oil. MD, what do you mean type out or check out the gold, silver following the dollar? Yeah, Blambo. That's exactly what I'm looking at. I really don't want to long into a resistance, but I don't know if this is going to pull back much if it does get buying pressure. What I'm looking at is something basically like this. I'm just trying to figure out where I would want my stop. But I don't love buying into the two resistances. Who said choice? That wasn't me, bro. Lander, I think it was. I don't know if we're going to get any type of pullback. The entry likely would have been right here that I would have loved. My thing is just the stop right now if I take it. Like if I bought here, I'd have to put a stop here the way I want to trade. Risk to reward doesn't make sense because that's not even 1 hour there. And if it pulled back and hit it, I wouldn't love that. But so far that divergence is playing out that we noticed on the 15-minute where the weaker name swept the lows and got buying pressure back above. Oil didn't get all the way up to the open, but it is rejecting a little bit thus far. And the dollar is continuing to be bearish. You can see how you can look at all those assets really quick to get a somewhat of a conviction and then build your thesis off of that. What are those resistance bars? Lander, you're talking about these? Those are just 15-minute pivots that we used in the past that we've been respecting. Yep, we're going to hit the open. Son of a bitch. Degen mode, polar bear. If I was in degen mode today, we'd be printing. I got in. Hell yeah. What up, banker? How you doing? Lander nuked me, bro. I copied 40 accounts. Lander, see what you did. Because those commodities, at least for now, not really correlating to oil prices as we mentioned before. Makes sense. Yeah, Blambo. At this point, though, I don't think we're going to get it. Because if we do get that pullback into that support, I'm not opposed to taking it. But what I would need is, this is why I'm going to wait 2 minutes. Give me a strong 15-minute close. And here's my discrepancy with this. If we get a strong 15-minute close, I would want this open to break right away. I really wouldn't want to stay and consolidate around here because that means buying pressure isn't going to be all that strong. And this is a very strong 15-minute on NQ. So I would want to pull back down into here that retest this. 73, 74s, same exact area we bought yesterday. Then look for that continuation. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think we're just going to watch it go a little bit higher and see how it reacts to the open. I think I mentioned NQ was going to pull back for a while and maybe back down later on. NQ breaks here. It's launching. Agreed. Holding for Ron. Polar Bear, you're going for 7. Oh, no, you got in at 714? All right, where are you targeting? Where are you ripping? I'm living vicariously through you. They're just trying to run without us now. Blambo, always. Always. Especially today. I'm not mad I didn't take this short because I don't think I would have hit a target or trimmed because that just isn't the move I wanted. But this sucks. Polar Bear's targeting 800, so we're going, all right. Polar Bear, where's your stop? We're watching this live. You better execute it properly because you're on the big screen now. $665. Oh God. Damn, your stop's down there. That works. Just because I know, and I'm going to put this on screen. That's way too small. and I already know someone's going to hop in and go, hey, are you in this trade? No, polar bears. You're on the big screen, brother. You going long? I'm waiting. If I was going long, we missed the entry. You're in this trade. Fuck you, Zach. Yep, there it is. There it is. Your G polar bear crazy what's that? I mean, it is a wider stop. Like at this point, he definitely could. Well, no. Polar bear, plug your ears so I don't make you do anything to your trade. For everybody else except polar bear, who's currently plugging his ears. At this point, he could easily trail that stop up a little bit to tighten it. At least if I was in the trade. That's what I would do. Obviously, he may trade different, so do you. But this is an easy point in which you can start to trail it. Because if we lose yesterday's lows, we'll likely head lower anyway. Careful right here. That 200 EMA has been a bitch to contend with on the 2 minute. But on paper, actually, wait. I feel like every time I get an eval, I get so inclined to just randomly trade it until I get profit. No, Lander is just, you're eager. I get eager to trade. Like, I am eager as hell to trade right now, but I've been nuked and demoralized by the stock market with boredom trades before. So now I know, like, hey, don't do that shit because it doesn't usually end well most of the time. And I'm okay waiting through it. Like, there's people out there that in the past, me missing this entry and watching it, let's say, go to the open or go up towards high of session, would tilt me easily. If that happens, that happens. There's so many trades within the sessions that we trade. Even if you only trade Asia session for 4 hours, there's usually so many setups that you can find. So one missed setup, one missed move isn't going to kill anybody. Yeah, Blambo, I'm still waiting for it. If we get entry, I'm in. I just don't know how much I love a bigger pullback, though. Oh, hang on, what's the hourly look like? That's not... I don't love it. I like it if you're already in. My qualm would just be if we get back down here, we're fighting this. If we push below that, this gets bearish quick. Would I be willing to put a risk on for that? Yes. I'd be willing to put a risk on the anticipation of this holding to then get the upside if the other time frames look good. Right now, the 15 does, the 5 minute does. It all looks fine. So I'd be willing to put a risk on for it, but just know if we break that prior hourly high, looks like shit. Push my stop to 705. Polar Bear, I'm making you look like an absolute G right now. 9.6 R trade. Congrats, brother. What up, Deb? I swear every time I boredom trade, it literally rockets in the opposite direction 100% of the time without Lander. I don't know if you were on earlier, but did you not see my trade from New York session? I got in within sub 10 seconds. Trump got his little Twitter fingers ripping, and I took an 18-point stop loss before I could even set my stop loss. Actually, 19-point. So yeah, I got in a trade probably out of boredom today a little bit. Also just lower conviction, but if it held, it would be a solid move. And gonzo. Umar, we don't need to yell, but I am already in MES long. Let's see stop loss below today's lows. Umar, where's your target, big dog? Wait, if your stop is down here, where are you targeting? Today's highs? You're looking for gold entry? See if it gets it. See now, oils, we talked about it. Oil's a little bit weaker as well. Couldn't get all the way up to the open, getting a little bit of selling pressure here. That should help fuel the indices if they're respecting the correlation. 1 minute FVG on NQ might be an entry. Trust. Lander. I'm going to be as honest as it gets. The second you said FVG, I no longer trusted. Sorry. Can't do it. Especially using a 1 minute during Asia session. When Asia session has had no volume or volatility lately. All right, so we're coming down into 74s. 2 spiking, 5. I'll try small, not small size. I'll try 2 minis. Where did it fill me? Above the current price action. Love that for me. 75. Let's throw a stop. 73. This is, I hate this risk to reward, but I'm willing to do it. Take profit. Oh no. Is Trade C still having issues? Okay, no, we're good now. Wait, my entry moved. My entry moved to there. I'm moving this just above the open to 79.5. Might regret it, but I like it a little more. I went to set an order on it and the entire screen froze and it wouldn't put it in. So I was like, oh no, am I about to be just stuck in this trade? But with this setup, I'm risking 225 for 425. Let me make sure all this is correct. 75, 73, yeah. Tighter stop. I mean, if we sweep this low, there's a chance we continue to hold. I'm just running tight little in and out kind of trades if we can get them. Would enter long here on ES? Well, that answered your question. I just did, right? When we were looking at that. Entry 71, stop loss 66, TP 82. Solid. Wait, you said... Oh, below. Okay, I read today's lows as today's lows, not today's session lows. So like New York session lows or like yesterday's candle. Today's, you know what I mean? The low down here versus right here. That's why I was like, damn, you got a wide stop. Oh. Anyone shorting NQ here? I don't think so. By the way, chat, this is why I usually don't follow the poll too often, but if it does work, it works. If I agree with you guys, I will. Y'all had bullish winning. We sold off that little bit, and then y'all flipped bearish, and then we bought back up as you guys chose bearish. So y'all, every time you guys pick one, it just does the complete opposite of you. This looks really weak, not gonna lie. Chuckle, if it gets below 73s where my stop is, it's weak, yes. World news, yes. I'm in the ES trade on the left. You can look right below my name and see unrealized P&L, realized P&L because of contract fees. Guard, are you once again talking about my trade? Brother, I appreciate you being here, but I do not need every single one of my entries that you see to be critiqued. I truly don't. If I get stopped, I get stopped. No, I think bearish is always ahead. My reason behind my trade is I see today's action as a range, so I'm betting that was a critical low of the range. Boy, bro, I love your entry. I do. No, you're good, brother. It's just the only messages I've seen from you are just critiquing the trades. Which I'm open to it, but have a little conversation outside of that, you know? But what do you mean by your thing saying waiting for confirmation? You talking about buying the break right here? If so, makes sense. For me, my thesis on this, likely before you got in, because you just talked, was similar to yesterday. We dipped down into 73, 74s. I look to get an entry after we hold that, trading off of this support for that continuation up to here. Yeah, it's fully constructive. For me, I know 100% of this. I have no qualms against it, but this one was actually on a trade that's doing well. Every other message was a trade after I just lost it, and I'm like, this motherfucker is just straight critiquing every loss I take. You sure you're half forward? I don't like it backwards? No, I don't want to. Plus, if I turn it forwards, it's just going to get, half my face is going to be in the shade. I was bearish into that Thursday high for the retest to go long. At the lows down here where you saw it, Blammo, did you get in? Or were you waiting for the break of yesterday's lows? Polar Bear is also cooking right now. All right, we hit the open, so the initial target hit. Let's see if we get that little bit extra that we were looking for. It's gonna be a son of a bitch if we reject here, which there's a chance we do. Unfortunately, I didn't enter on ES. Nothing wrong with that. There will be more trades. Too slow? Yeah. If it doesn't fit your criteria, don't trade it. But no, the initial overall target hit where I was looking just to front run the open a bit. Now I do have it up at 9.5. But yeah, Guard, if you ever want to do constructive criticism, if you throw like right after your message why you feel something, feel free. 100% feel free. Basically, you got a breakout bar breaking above the prior two lower highs. You need to wait to see if the bull bar gets good follow through. Red bar printed, so potential reversal. Not necessarily based on where we entered, because we didn't enter the second this candle opened, right? We entered after it had already pulled back and flipped back green, getting above this 2-minute high, giving us that conviction. And as well as that, looking at the 15, we already knew the 15 was coming back, retesting the overall breakout of this 73 area, which gave me that conviction to take the risk. But I see what you mean. Yeah, I took it after the bear bar didn't get follow through. So after it swept this low and got bought back above. One thing I will say though is if compared to Jake's chat, I fucking love you guys. Like Jake today, I was reading his chat. If I was trading like he was, I would have tweaked probably. Because every single person was just straight up saying all like everything wrong with every single detail of any trade he took. Zay, silver running. I see gold still going. Silver's pushing. Hell yeah. Dollar still pushing lower. Oil's still fighting. For now, I will trail stop break even. I don't do this often. But I'll throw a break even. So I'm going to trail up to here. If I get break even, I get break even. Break even. Yep, guard, agreed. I agree with that for sure. If you're looking for that increased conviction, I also had conviction off of the NASDAQ as well as the dollar and oil, looking at all those before I got in the trade. So that's kind of where I get my extra conviction. If I get in a position before it kind of makes that break. Ideally, to be honest, I think I got in a little late based off of how I wanted to take this trade because I wanted to buy near this like 73, 74s. Just because your stop can be a lot tighter. If we lose this area, this is obviously going to push back lower and I would just get stopped. So I'm playing the probabilities there. Yep, I see everything you're mentioning. Well, I got a position trading in silver. It's up too, thankfully. Hell yeah, MD. Chat. By the way, do y'all remember the one person in Jake's stream that always hops in and puts his name in chat and says, I am long in the market? Or I am shorting here, expecting huge flash crash? The man himself. Well, today, when I traded a little SPX towards the end of the day, I hopped on a random bookmap stream. The first thing I see now, mind you, this is a bookmap stream with like 100 people on it. It was like the 5th stream down that I clicked, Rumo. There's barely anybody talking in this chat. And Rumo is giving his trade alerts at the end of the day on a random ass ESNQ bookmap stream. I logged in. I'm like, this is my stream now. We got our dog Rumo in here. Dude, this is home. But no, that was a laugh that was phenomenal to get. He's a man of the people providing free trades. Polar Bear, the worst part is I'm pretty sure both of those trades got nuked. Like within 30 seconds. Guard, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Also phrasing, saying I need to learn it, not necessarily. If I believe it can benefit my trading, I'd be open to it. Yeah, he delivers consistent profits as my hedge fund manager. I mean, Rumo's a G. Were you profitable before you quit your job? I was at the break even, ever so slightly profitable when I had to make the decision to quit. But I also had enough money coming in elsewhere. I had like 3 months of back paid commission that I was owed. And I was at a point where I either had to make the jump or go get a different job. So I made the decision and it ended up working. Yeah, I get it. I didn't expect you to give like a full detailed explanation. But are you talking about like dealer positioning in Gamma? Not necessarily Gamma, but just dealer positioning? But yeah, Ben, I was at a point where I was seeing enough consistency to be like, all right, I'm willing to take the risk, but not enough to where I was like, hell yeah, if I do this, I'm guaranteed to make it. You know what I mean? I've trained for about 3 years now, 15K away from being break even finally. Hell yeah, Zach. Obviously, I don't know how much you were down, but hell yeah. So streaming was in the way of Asia session. 8 trades. How'd you know? Thank God for the military. My pension makes it possible for me. Hell yeah, Zay. Zay, you're welcome for the taxes we all pay. Do you think Japan being on a holiday will take some volatility away? If it would already be doing that, which I mean, we're getting decent volatility. Overall, if you think about it, if we're taking away the volume because of a holiday, oh no. All right, I think we're good. I think we buffered for a half second. But if you take away the overall volume, you'll need less volume to see continuation. Thank you for your service. No, Zay, thank you for the sacrifice. Thank you for the service. How's the food truck going? Good, brother. I don't work at it that often because my parents, and they have employees. When the employees actually show up and work, I'm not needed. Or when they overbook themselves on events, that I'm kind of needed. Chat, I'm gonna trail this up to 76.25. I'm getting away with some. Understanding the bulls and bears are trapped on a bar, buying or selling the close of the bar, buying or selling the bar above, depending on if it's. I feel like I definitely understand a lot of that. It's just on an intuition level for the most part. I'm gonna get real statistically proven consistency first. Then I won't quit the job, but will get lazy as hell in the job, avoiding all I can. Well, MD, I feel like we were in different scenarios job-wise. Also, I would assume age-wise, because most people aren't a doctor by the age of like 25. I think 25. Which you could, I think you might. No, because you have like 8 years of med school. Yeah, but I was at a point where I had very low cost of living. I still do. And it doesn't take a lot for me to actually pay my bills. Plus, I wasn't in like a high income job. All mine was commission based. Do you remember Neo, the car company? Yeah, Polar Bear, I do. What about it? Wait, Adam, are you guys talking about Rumo still? No more extra hospital wards. I'm sure you're looking forward to it. It's easy to have low cost of living when you're broke. That's my reason. That's fair, Rob. The thing is, too, obviously, as long as when your wages inflate, then you don't continuously inflate your cost of living. The more you make, the easier life gets. People say money doesn't buy happiness, but it saves you a shitload of stress. I can tell you that. Who's got your eval restored? Hell yeah, Simon. Money buys peace of mind. Agreed. Wholeheartedly. It makes life way easier. It's also easy to have low cost of living when you live in Ohio. Did I drink all this? Oh, nope. Apparently I still have coffee. After my divorce, I have 12 years until retirement, so starting over. Sorry to hear that, brother. Still a good salary. Money buys everything. Well, I mean, Simon, you got a valid point. Everything's got a price. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it's a good down payment. Money doesn't buy happiness, but you know, a boat makes me smile a hell of a lot more than sitting in a house. I feel better crying in a supercar. Facts. It's even the little things, dude. Money doesn't buy happiness, but having a fridge full of food's a lot easier than eating ramen. Chat, there's still 140-ish of you guys on. And there's only 70 likes. Only 70. Y'all want us to run future giveaways on 70 likes? Usually we're over 150, 200s because there's a giveaway. y'all ain't liking it. Rob, I, I guess that's a way of looking at it. I never thought of it from that perspective, but I guess. Yeah, I agree with Polar Bear. Crazy take. Oh no, Blambo, giveaways aren't even in question at 70 likes. Not even in question. But we also haven't, it's crazy. Ever since we found Mr. Like Botter and View Botter, nobody's seen him in chat. He's been MIA. So we haven't been able to prove or tell him, like, hey, you can't win shit now. So none of us are putting the numbers on our screen, because if he shows up, he's just going to like bot us. It's wild the impact one person doing something dumb has on everything. Ramen or steak, Rob, some of it gives you a little bit of nutrition. Just a little bit. These funded seat accounts are getting some buzz, huh? Zay, that's what I'm on. It's just the fact that you can choose. And what I like about it is they tier the pricing. They immediately went off of what Lucid did. They might have had the idea first. Or I don't know who had the idea first. You can basically pick the own price, like the price you want to pay for the account. And it's a phenomenal idea. Plus they're 50% off right now with code RAKE at checkout. But the daily payouts with uncapped up to $100,000 is diabolical, which is why the accounts are a little more expensive. I'm sure eventually that thesis might change. We'll see though. Obviously, I want the company to do well in the long run, but it's the first company I'm actually going to trade outside of Tradeify and Lucid in a minute. Yeah, especially when it's early on. Because let's say I don't know how new they are. If it's a newer platform, they have to pay out, or else they'll never make it off the ground floor. Same thing with the 10-4 aspect. I think people love their rules. They would ask what I think about the account. It's not something I'm trading with yet. Mainly because of the broker options there, right? They don't have Trade of 8 or Trade C, so I don't love that. But they got to pay you if you want to work. You don't like TPT? Blambo, I've just never used it. I have never once bought a single TPT account in my life. Not one. Do you use cast iron? No. My mom does, but I'm cheap as shit unless it comes to my trading setup. Like, my trading setup is stupid expensive. But anything else outside of this office, I am a cheap son of a bitch when it comes to putting money towards it. Cast iron is cheap as shit. Well, I already got pots and pans that work flawlessly, Polar Bear. So I am chilling. We have stainless steel. All right, chat. I got filled out. See if it gets continuation or not, but I'm full out. 79.50s hit. My main thing was just front running 80 and up 240. This is the funded seat account. Technically, I'm 40% of the consistency I need. Well, don't need, but I am on the 35% consistency account, not the 25%. Polar Bear is about to so far he's just straight flexing on me with this trade. I'd catch a little bit with him at least. Chat, I have a genuine question that I'm going to ask in a poll. Oh, look at that, chat. The move happened to the upside, and we're back to being bullish. You guys are market analysts, I'll tell you. 3/4 of the move already happened. Y'all flip back to bullish. All right. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do a poll. Do you have a Discord? Guard, we do. It's not my Discord. Like, I don't teach in it. I work with people I want to. It's Jake's trading course, and the signals, everything that people post in there. But yeah, Ollie's got the link right there. Code STREAM at discount, STREAM. Gives you 50% off. I don't know if you're actually interested or just asking, but I don't have one myself personally. It's Breaks Discord that I'm a part of, and I've been a part of it for 2022. So going on 5 years. What's your Discord? I don't have one. Or my individual Discord. It's right up top right of the screen. Rong Trades. RONG Trades. I also have an Instagram. More votes on polls than viewers. How many trades do you take? Rab, depends on the chart. Zay, you know what's insane? Is obviously there was the original. Some people don't know the back end stuff. But I was the first person to ever be brought into Jake's team that didn't start out on Jake's team. What up, Guard? Guard, if you're gonna send messages, send them after, because it'll pop up in like the bottom right of the stream. I don't have the desktop things enabled. You can send them, but it'll show up a little bit. I was the first person ever brought up in Jake's stream. So I did Mastermind 1 in 2022 in January. One of the very first people to get into his course. And within 1 month, I think, maybe 5 weeks, I was brought up to being a team member after that. And I was like part of it. And then 7 months after that, I became a full-fledged like moderator in the Discord. And ever since then, I've been working with Jake hand in hand through so much shit. But he believed in me in like the very beginning. Also, Callan. Funniest thing is Jake wasn't the first person to bring me on to do something. Those of you that know that I do like the weekly watch list for futures every week, Callan actually brought me up to work with him before Jake ever did. It was like a few weeks before. I'm gonna be the next team member, maybe. MD, you'll see. The thing is with the Discord, I feel like we would be looking more so for stream-related people versus Discord-related people. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's only been 2 people ever brought up to moderator, me and J Babs. 6 Kev's in here. He's a team member. He made the cut. At least he wasn't here earlier. I don't know if he still is. Save my space, make my banner. Brother, if any of you guys get into the stream aspect, I'm ready. I mean, there's still a lot we got to grow. Mena, if you like it, for me, I'm not going to be taking it. If you like it, fine. Zay, that is the only outside analyst that we have been willing to keep in the Discord. He's not a part of Rake Trades, but he's been in the Discord as an analyst for 4 years, maybe 3 years. We've probably gone through 12 to 15 other analysts. All of them got the boot except for Wax. Now he is an OG ride or die, kind of, sort of. He's like a long lost cousin now. Not a part of the family, but like a long lost cousin. Close that? Hell yeah, Polar Bear. I'm just going to say you filled there. Beautiful, brother. A little 70 points. Nice trade, my guy. Oh, MD, that's easy. You just got to pick a color and you're all set. Everything else is light work. But no, eventually, I don't think Jake's looking right now. Eventually, we will want more streamers. More personalities to have on. I'm not opposed to having someone else on this session. Have a co-host. Rip a little conversations. Have some fun for a few hours. But you got to be willing to stay a couple extra days if you want to. Like if we stick around for an extra half hour, you got to be willing to do it. Either that or just dip at 2 hours. But no, I mean, we're looking to add more time slots if we find any that are valid that we like. But that's all on Jake. He's the one that put everything together. I'll stream for Latin American. Fair. Yo, can you look at Netflix? What about Netflix? Well, Wax Alerts aren't doing so hot these days. Man, he's like everybody. He goes through phases. See, where's he at? How'd he do? Yeah. He goes through phases. Nothing wrong with it. Thing is, though, when Wax hits, that shit's going 1,000%. You look at Netflix, 80 call expiring in October. Holy lines. Hang on. 1 second. I gotta fix this. I can't look at a chart with a billion lines on it. I lose focus completely. It drives me absolutely insane. All right, Netflix. Monthly. Wait. This is kind of fire. I'm gonna do this. We're removing everything. Hang on. I don't hate this chart at all. 80 expiring October. All I'm looking at is the monthly, and I don't hate this. And I'll show you exactly what this reminds me of. And y'all should remember it from the very beginning of stream. Was it Hood that we talked about? Right here. You see the pullback from the aggressive push. Retest the prior breakout at the prior all-time highs. Ignore the IPO. Who cares? Prior all-time highs is what I'm calling it. You see the retest of that breakout, and then you get that strong continuation. That is what this chart reminds me of a lot. With this. Biggest thing is going to be last month's highs. If you end up getting continuation, if you guys want me to look at some individual stocks on a broader scale, whatever, feel free to throw them in chat. So we have last month's highs at 78.44. Yeah, 78.44. You get above that, I'm fairly interested. Because my main target at that point would be probably some resistance around 83s with potential up towards 86s. But it's if it wants to squeeze or not, you know? Yeah, I mean, I like the chart on the higher time frame. I like the monthly a lot. Daily's obviously doing well. Thus far, you do have room up into last month's highs. You just got to see how we react to it. How'd you trade that? Options a year out? Options or shares? Yeah. Something like that. I have never swung a year out options. I think the most I've done is like 5 months. And I closed it after like a month and a half. Home run into here? Or are you talking about home run into here? Because if you get up to here, if you have a Netflix contract that goes to $23, holy shit, you are probably doing well. I'm also in Netflix 75 call, expiration January 27. Lambo, I like that a lot too. But yeah, I would look for just dated options. This is something I'm going to be looking more into. I'm going to be funding my TOS account for options, in which that account is going to be broad swing trades. The reason I'm using a different broker is because I day trade more so on Robinhood. And what I would do is that account, broad swing trades, I am not opening it unless an alert hits on my chart. Can't look at the contracts. Don't know what I'm up, what I'm down. I'm just going to let them go until an alert gets hit. Yeah, I like that chart. Indices still trending a little bit. All right. So we have PLTR that y'all want to see. PLTR. What do you do here? Once again, monthly pullback. I don't know if this is as clean, but pulled back, held technically higher low overall. Slow, methodical weekly downtrend. Finally got back over 130s. This was my no trade zone on PLTR from likely 2-3 months ago on stream when we talked about it. But this is a hard chart for me because we just ripped 45.5%. I ain't touching that chart. I mean, if you think I'm buying PLTR at 420 billion market cap, just below all-time highs, up 45% in the last week, that ain't where I see a good risk to reward. I want to get in before that happens, or at least in the beginning of that move. Right? When I've been trading the name you guys know I say a lot, NVIDIA, we were trading it down around here and down around here before it made these larger moves. That is what we wanted to catch. Especially with swings. I'm not on swings. I'm not waiting for a breakout. I'm waiting for a support that gets tested, holds, and then I'm looking to trade. Riot? Isn't Riot a crypto-based company, or am I thinking of something else? This chart looks terrible. Oh, well, it's gapping up. Is it gapping up 30% and you want me to look at it? Fucking 26% gap higher? At this point, this is exactly what I do on the 15 minutes for my sessions with trading. Go here, mark that. You can see exactly why I'm marking that area. Daily pivot here, pivoted all here, rejected here, pivoted there. If we gap and hold above that, and if you look, go back, it actually held here as well. If we gap, hold above that, I'd be more interested in ones. But once again, for me, I'm not buying a stock that's up 25% overnight. Especially one that I don't trade. It's a name that I trade often, maybe, but this, not overly interested. So what's that going to do to the weekly? It's going to gap the weekly up here. You have room to 25s, need over 25s, get over this pivot. You can look back towards 30s, I guess. Not a chart I'm in love with, but it is getting a nice momentum gap off earnings. When will you wrap up stream? Not sure yet, guard. Basically just when I quit looking at charts. Typically around 9 p.m., but also towards the end. If I'm shooting shit with chat, I don't mind staying around longer. I don't plan on running till like 10 or 11, but I'll go over some charts with everybody. HTZ. What the hell is HTZ? Hertz Global. That chart looks terrible. Is this a penny stock, brother? Are you currently having me look at a penny stock to give technical analysis on? Because if so, you are in the wrong department. Me and penny stocks aren't a thing that go together. I don't trade pennies. I don't know how pennies move. So I'm not going to be able to give great overall thesis analysis on it. I'm used to larger cap names. I mean, if we hold these prior lows, you can see buying pressure. But it's not something I'm really interested in. It's not a penny stock. What's the criteria for a penny stock? This is sub $1 billion. Okay, so I guess it's categorized as a mid-style cap. Unlike traditional small, obscure penny stocks, this is massive. Yeah, I know it's an international brand. If it has billions of dollars in revenue, why is its value worth less than $1 billion? That math don't math. It's not really a penny. Well, I mean, in general, it's a real company, but being at $2 after selling off from 53, not overly interested in it. If you believe in it long term and you like it for a buying opportunity, feel free to rip it. I don't like the weekly lower high here. Don't like the monthly, but if it does hold this, you can look for longer term. I'm not in love with it just because I don't like buying names that sold off $50 when they were worth 53. So it just doesn't have a lot of my interest. That makes sense. And bankruptcy. Well, bankruptcy's not good. See you later, Ollie. Dollar hitting up, ruining my gold entry. Is gold pulling back a bit? Oil's still pushing lower. Ooh, gold is pulling back. Dollar's getting buying pressure. So far, we have not gotten continuation yet, or a pullback. So we'll see where that breaks. PLTR, one trade that one risky. Yeah, just got to deal with Anthropic. Riot got to deal with Anthropic. HTZ, not a penny stock. Not a penny market cap. Real company stuff. See you later, Adam. Oh yeah. I mean, if you, like I said, I don't know anything about that. If you like it, rock with it. It's just not a name I trade often, not a name I have on my watch list, and not a name I really pay attention to much. But I don't see any more charts in the chat. I don't have any interest in the indices yet. Caught my little piece on the session. Gonna make sure I don't have any orders open. The lovely part about Trade C is it cancels all your orders for you most of the time. Unless you have individual orders set, then it doesn't. But if we continue to hold the open on the indices, we can look for a bigger push. If we do get momentum above 77, 80s on ES, yet again, same territory as yesterday for the most part, then we can start to look to trade back into New York's price action. You have a little bit of resistance at 86. Over that, you have 98s up at yesterday's highs. Not a bad overall target. I just don't know if I have conviction we get that continuation yet. What I kind of want to see is the 4-hour close. Come into 10 p.m. Eastern, so about another hour. Watch how this closes. If we close this strong, I'm open for an upside day tomorrow. Open for a couple longs. So we'll see what that does. Caught a little piece though. But with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream, call it a night, just because I don't see anything else to do. Alan's going to be on 1 a.m. Eastern, like always. 10 p.m. PST. I'll be back on tomorrow, 7 p.m., like always. And with that, y'all have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you, Blambo.